Welcome to Watopian Weekly. Welcome. We're here to talk about Zwift life and beyond. We're here to talk about what's going on. Welcome to Watopian Weekly. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Watopian Weekly. Yeah, thank you. Season 5, Episode 7. We're on video. Watopian Weekly is a podcast for Zwifters, cyclists, and everyone else. My name is Dustin, and with me, I have... He's the guy that has more ladder races than I have intros for him. Propelled by Starburst, the dude that will most likely turn down candy corn in any shape, even the ones that looks like candy corn. Hey, by the way, do you like the candy corn candles at all?
No.
Not even that?
No candy corn.
Here he is, Josh. Woo! Hey, Josh, how you doing, man?
Hello. Yes, I hate candy corn.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, someone faster than a pumpkin rolling down a hill, quicker than a text message sent from within the network, a man on the precipice of FRR greatness. He's not a myth. He's real. James. Woo, James, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, not too bad. I've never had candy corn, so I've just searched it on the internet. I'm quite glad I've never had it. Looking at it, it looks horrendous. You used to be able to get candy corn flavored Oreos. I can't imagine anything more horrific possible.
Yeah, you're not missing out on that thing.
Well, I don't know. I think you got to have it like it's like a fall time snack or fall time treat. I think you can't have it any other time of the year.
Yeah, it's a no time snack.
Yeah, no, I'm with Josh on this, unfortunately, Dustin. I think
it's all right. I didn't have any yet. I'm waiting until all the Halloween
change my
going
Discord name to anti candy corn.
Anti candy corn. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, we do have to have we're gonna have a Halloween candy recap here because we do have a lot of we should definitely talk about that. But so okay. Well, guys, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. And, I was, we just had okay, well, let's just get into it. It's the week after Halloween, and we were going to record last weekend, but it didn't work out with all the time changes and everything because on Halloween weekend in North America, we switched times. And I have to say that, my dog does not care about what time it is, because I was definitely sleeping at what was 6 a.m. at that time, but then she's like, let's get up. She's like hitting at me and everything. Anyway, I got to buy her a watch, but I can't find one that fits her wrist. Anyway, so that was rough actually doing that. But gentlemen, it's been a while since we talked. Josh, why don't we start off with you? What have you been up to, man?
Did a couple ladder races this week. 2 ladder races. We almost lost 7 in a row. So,
oh man,
sorry, pretty brutal stretch of races. But came back with a bang on Thursday and won handily against a pretty good team and went on offense the entire time. And it was
oh man,
yeah, worked out well. Had a pretty strong lineup in there, so definitely happy to finally notch one back in the win column. So
yeah.
And then otherwise it's FRR time. So Saturday was the first stage, and I'm going for green jersey because,
nice, man.
There's no way I'm competing endurance wise against the likes of upper level sapphires, and then obviously we have emerald folks in our pen too, so they're the ones pushing the pace super hard the entire time. And I just don't have the endurance to keep up with those folks, especially on the climbs. So sitting top 10 for green for right now, but we'll see. We'll see if we can break into the top 5 would be the goal. So
that's awesome. And how many places get the jersey? Just the first place?
Yeah. I think
I'm just kidding. But that's awesome, dude. That is incredible. I mean, those. I am in awe, and I know James gonna talk about this too. But how you both are doing the FR tour, they're so intense and everything, and we're gonna be talking about it later too. But oh man, it's so intense, and to be able to do those sprints when you're like already so tired. And then, from the stage load, and then just have it to keep on doing it. Oh, it's incredible. Well, good job, dude. Good job. All right, James, what have you been up to, man?
Not very much on the bike, actually. We've had some family emergencies to deal with this week, which we're going to touch on a little bit later. But our dog, who has has been a guest on the show, hasn't been very well. So he was in the vets pretty much all week, which we're going to touch on, and the consequences and cost of that down the line. But he's recovering, which is really good. But unfortunately, it meant on Tuesday night I had to drop out of the ZRL time trial at quite last minute because I was in the veterinary hospital with him, and it wasn't looking good. So unfortunately, it's been a bit more focus on just sort of family life. But end of this week, I made up for that. I did the last round of the Super 6, and I think I've just finished stage 1 of the first Tour Britannia stage, 16 hours after I started it. It felt like, and I was hoping to try and get stage 2 out of the way before the recording of the podcast. But having had 2 hours sleep, I was like, nah, we'll save that beautiful enjoyment of extra climbing as well, because the road book's slightly out of sync for later on this evening. So that's going to be a fun Sunday night riding around virtual road. Sorry.
Slightly out of sync is a understatement for those. Yeah, like 800 meters more climbing.
Was it? It's supposed to be 1,000. It was 1,000 in the road book, and it's what, 20% more in the light way for today. So yeah, it's just shy of 1,300 meters of climbing actually. So that's quite a bit in the grand scheme. It's an extra 300 meters just for fun, but everyone loves a bit of elevation, so it should be all good. Not that I'm looking forward to that course particularly. So, but there's no sprint, so it's a day to rest the legs, get your climbing wheels on, and just get sort of grinding it out and getting up and over this stage.
And are the bikes neutralized for all these stages except for the wheels, though, right?
That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So we're all slugging it on, I think, the Zwift carbon frame, aren't we? So
yep. So
fun time.
Nice and slow.
to be fair, the rest of the field, if they stuck them all on the Zwift carbon and gave me pure bike choice, I could ride anything else, I'd still be dead last. So
yeah, it is interesting how all that works, and like marginal gains. Are the wheels really that big of a difference? I mean, this week when we were talking about ZRL, and I know we're going to talk about this later, but we were going through on our team. One of our riders was a little bit, or is still new, so he didn't have the Cadex Tri yet. So he was we were trying to figure out which bike he could get, and he was like, well, maybe I'll just go with the stock one. And like, if you look at the frames, I mean, even I can't remember. I think the Felt AI was like 180 seconds faster than the stock one. I mean, that's 3 minutes. That's right.
That's crazy.
That but that doesn't even account to the wheels. So the wheels, I really wonder how effective the wheel change really is. I don't know.
Yeah,
I do think the TT bikes and the wheel setup, there's more of an exaggerated difference on the performance of the equipment in game. That's just my gut feeling. I probably probably to do some research rather than just throw that into the mix, but it definitely feels it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree. So yeah, I just wondered if because definitely because it's the CDA is really that's more important at that point. Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, man, I'm sorry to hear about your dog. I hope he's okay and stuff. For me, I haven't been doing much on my bike either. My goal is 75 miles a week, and I'm at like 50 or something this week because I've just been way too busy. I've been traveling all last weekend for work, and then on Monday I was gone, and then Tuesday, ZRL, which I was super happy about. Our team was awesome. That was the hardest TTT that I've done in a long time. And Smashley, who's on my team, she said that I said that last time. It's like, well, last time I felt I was in better fitness than this time, but I had 2 days off the bike and I just didn't. I felt like not the best, and man, we got there to the end. We were taking for me 300 watts is a lot. Okay, so 300 watt pulls for 30 seconds. Oh man, that's just that was hard, especially for 30 seconds. I wondered if we could have done like a minute or something at maybe less, and so I don't know if that would have been better, or like at 275 for a minute. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Unless you're like really in sync as a team, it always seems like the changeover to the next person, like you lose a lot of time doing that. I'm not science or anything. It's just gut feeling. Gut feeling. Well, it's been a long while since I've done any TT, so.
But then also there's the whole like the anyway, the Discord, how there's like a little bit of a delay. So you're like, all right, off in 5. Well, by the time someone hears that, those 5 seconds may have elapsed, or 2.5 seconds may have elapsed. So because we're not all at the same thing. But anyway, we can talk about that later too. But
how much do you obviously we all race for the same club, and we do have an internal TTT sheet that we put together. I tend to use Zwifters for TT, that
yes.
one?
We use that one.
That is really good, and you could go and model those numbers and actually see what sort of difference on paper it makes. But I take Josh's point is we use that estimated time, and we're usually about the end of the last round one, we were about 50 seconds out, and I think that was just purely transitions between rolling turns, and just that slight lag time between Discord, but also riders being on it and coming through, and it does make a difference.
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah. Oh man. Well, and I know we can talk about that some more, but for that. But other than that, for me, I've been fast cat training. I've switched to a sweet spot plan, so I'm doing sweet spot for right now. I'm going to raise my FTP. Let's hope. And they're kind of I don't want to say boring, but they are kind of boring to do. 2 hours at sweet spot or whatever. It's kind of boring, but supposedly it's good for me, just like eating broccoli. But I don't believe it. And then I've been
zone 2, dude. It's just so boring, but it's good for you. But
it is good for you. But finding the time is also and finding the time is hard too, right? Because there's so many of those races. I mean, I saw James the other day. I saw you in New York, James, and like you said like you were just looking on to ride, and then you ended up racing the unlock thing, I think, right? Is that what you were doing? That's what I was.
Yeah, we'd flown back, so I was slightly jet lagged. So I thought I'd just get on the bike because I didn't have anything better to do. And when you get on, and you're just like, I'm just going to roll around. All the New York routes are out.
Yep.
There was a race starting about 5 minutes later, so I piled into that. And then it was, I can't remember which one. It was like, was it spin on? It's the one that's the spinning.
Spin something, Spination or something or something.
So I obviously doing my full race recon prep and everything like that. We got onto the bridge, and I went full gas. Got about 3/4 of the way, and then pretty much stopped, and everyone went past me. So there was definitely, again, a lesson to be learnt about that. And I could see sort of Dustin was on course, putting in chat, oh man, this is really good. And I'm just like, oh, this is ridiculously rubbish. Why would you do that? But surprisingly, I don't think I hammered. Actually, my velo score actually went up a few, I think, for that.
Oh, nice.
I was amused by. But yeah, it was. I haven't done all the courses yet, but the ones the routes that I've been around, they look quite interesting. I'd be quite looking forward to racing them with a bit more preparation and actually not being completely cooked as well before.
I did the Zwift Unlock, not the races, but the group rides and the long ones. Obviously, like custom finish shorter would be great for ladder races because they're like crazy punchy, like 30 second to 2 minute, 2.5 minute like punches. So I'm looking forward to riding those.
Yeah, it's gonna be. There's lots of good routes. There are lots of good routes and lots of good ladder things, like exactly like what you're saying. Lots of good opportunities there. My dog is making an appearance here. I don't know if you can hear her. But anyway,
agrees.
Yeah, oh my gosh. But we had when I was doing that the Unlock series, I wanted to say that we were that same race, James. I hammered it, man. We were I was like a third or fourth wheel at the begin or into the big climb. Is it on the Brooklyn Bridge or is it? I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
And anyway, so I'm like, we have a small group. We had like 6 seconds on the on the field. I'm like, let's go. And I was trying to encourage everyone to go, and we had like 10 seconds on them, and then I blew up, and then everybody caught us. So and then it got down to a sprint finish, and I had nothing left. So that's all right. But yeah, other than that, I've been making a lot of music. I had a gig last night. I was telling Josh and James about this earlier. That had a gig last night. It was really fun to be making music again and everything. Of course, I didn't get enough time to ride my bike, but that's okay. It's fantastic. We raised money for a charity that was helping people with drug addiction and stuff like that too. So that was good. It was a good thing. So happy to be there and help with that. And then also, I was supposed to get a bass guitar on Friday too. Oh man, I was that whole thing fell through. It was a little shady to begin with, and like that there was I can't tell you everything, but it was legal. Everything was legal, but it just didn't work out with
Yeah, talking about black market bass guitars.
No, it was just they were coming in from another country, and like it was no, everything was fine, everything was legal. It was through a guitar shop, but they were So I'm looking if anybody's got a Fender P bass that they don't want to. They want to get rid of, starting with the serial numbers MX. I'd be happy for that. So, just let me know. Send me a message. But so I'm looking for a new bass. But all right, so let's move on. I know we were talking about ZRL anyway. We should continue on that with that time trial was tough. Next week, we can talk through these two things here too. And I know, Josh, you're not doing it, but next week with Everything Bagel and with the Empire Rising, that's going to be. I'm glad I'm not doing A or B personally because that's the they have to do
41 kilometers.
Yeah, and they have to do Empire Rising, and we both have both A and B and C and D also have to do the New York KOM forward and backward, so or forward and reverse. I think. Which one do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the A and Bs? They have to do that. Ooh, man.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, the New York KOM forward and reverse. Good luck with that. That's if I was in that, that's where my dreams go to die on, even the first hill. So.
Well,
the only difference though is for Rising Empire, like the KOMs don't start until like halfway through the race, whereas like in C and D, Everything Bagel, like New York KOM reverse is like pretty much like right after the lead in.
And
so it's like a kilometer or two into the race, and then you're going straight uphill.
And that's the big thing right there. Like everyone's going to go for FAL and FTS through there because you can get both for that one. And
you're I mean, if you're A and B, I mean, I would expect people are just going to smash immediately out of the pen.
Yeah.
Or sorry, C and D. If you're C and D, if you're C and D on Everything Bagel, everyone is just going to smash out of the pen to go for FAL and FTS right off rip.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to play out in A and B? Because obviously you've got a bit of lead time before you get to the KOM. Obviously the course isn't flat; it's always up and down.
Yeah, always.
And you're doing them twice, aren't you? As well. That's I must admit, I'm quite happy. And to be fair, I might go to the vets again Tuesday night.
to get
out of this.
Yeah,
but it feels, at least on the C and Ds, you're out the door, you're pretty much straight into the climb. So it's you're full gas committed, whether you like it or not. And it's about how every place counts. So you're keeping you committed from there. But it's in the back of your mind, you're like, I've only got to go up it once each time, and let's see where we are at the top. But with A's and B's, that's a much more brutal. I'm quite glad I'm not doing that.
Yeah, the only positive thing about A and B is the climbs don't really start until like 8 kilometers in, as opposed to like one,
Yeah.
1 or 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be hard, and I mean, the New York KOM reverse is, I'm using air quotes here, slightly easier because it's less steep, but it's still every time that I have raced up this, it's like you see the arch, and then you get kicked in the like that last kicker is just, oh, that stinks, man. It's so hard to get up there
because you turn sharply and then you don't see it, and then you're like, oh god, like this.
Yep.
More.
Yeah.
At least with both of them, they're I use the word little respite. They are stepped slightly, so you do have a chance to get your breath and then go again. But
which is always where that's always where I get dropped. I think because that first, especially on the reverse, when you're going up, you hit the banner and then you're going up, and then there's that little I start absolutely catching my breath when you can't. You got to push on there. Oh man, I'm going all in on the first one, and you heard it here first. It's probably going to be the last I will be able to talk. But I'm going all in on it, and it's that's my goal. So and I will go FTS on the second New York KOM. I'm not necessarily a climber, but I'll do it.
Yeah,
it's going to be. I say, as both, I think me and Dustin are both racing C's. It's going to be interesting because we had a reconfiguration of our division. So I think we're in whatever EMEA division. I think we're in division 452. And we can move all over the shop. So I actually don't know what the rest of the field is like. Whereas normally when you have something like this, you got a bit of a flavour of what teams are going to absolutely bat it off the gun and where you are. So I think that first climb might actually be sort of trying to do enough to stay near the top, but not burning all your matches, he says. I'm sorry, going full gas and then dying about halfway up. It's absolutely always going to be the case. But for me, I'm a sprinter and I'm heavy. So I'm having to do significantly more watts than everyone else just to hang on. So I think the aim will be just to sort of be as close to that front group as possible and then look to absolutely kill them all in the sprints when we get over. But we'll see what that happens. At least the second sprint's so close off the climb, I can use my effective weight advantage to absolutely hammer down the other side.
Oh man, speaking of weight,
that second one, that New York sprint forward, that'll to your point, James, that will be interesting because it's like right after the descent, and you can probably still carry some speed by that time into it.
And
just got to be near the front group. That's the challenge. There's quite a bit of climbing and racing that's taking place to get to that stage. And I think once you get through that, I think whatever you've got left, I think it's going to be so fragmented.
But then, but talking about weight though, is where do you drop your anvil if you get the anvil? Do you that I get duped by this all the time because I think a lot of people are going to hit it right as soon as they cross because they're just absolutely dead. But I feel like you have to push a little bit further and then hit it, or do you wait? Do you wait until like halfway down? You get the draft from everybody, and then wait till halfway down to you're almost down to the end, then hit it to carry more into the quote unquote flat area, especially on the second one.
Do they say there's going to be anvil?
Yeah, anvil's one of the options. You've got draft fan, and then feather, and then anvil. So
and it's saying a equal probability of the 3 possible power ups. So I go on the one that's most inconvenient at the time that you get it, and then apply that across every banner, and then happy days from there.
Yep. I think for you stock your anvil and save it, especially like on the descent of the New York KOM forward, and you time it such that you're gonna it'll be burned by the time the flats are reached, and then you can carry that speed into the sprint.
Yeah, that from the New York KOM down to the New York Sprint, that is, I wish I knew that exact distance between the bottom and that, but it's close. I know it's close, and it's only 200 meters. So it's just it's so fast. Hey,
Do
look at me
all that
talking in metric.
do
All right.
all that math and calculation in your head while you're wheezing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, James, we're in C1. We got moved up. We were in C3 last time. We got third, and then we got bumped up, especially with our time trial because they reshuffled everything. That was so. To your point too about that,
you had
James.
double promoted, huh?
Yeah. Because of that whole first the first TTT, which I'm okay with it. I was a little upset about the whole thing before, but now not upset. I guess just like why are they doing this? But it makes sense to use that as kind of a sorting, as like the Hogwarts sorting hat to put everybody in whatever team they are. Gryffindor. All right. Anyway, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, and we might be slightly. I don't know. Are we going to be? I don't think we're going to be disadvantaged by it. But we ended up one of our other riders on last Tuesday got on his bike, very excited. One of our stronger riders, and he runs a Wahoo kicker bike. Gears didn't work. He had no gears.
Oh no.
So we only went with 4. And to be fair, the team did really well because they were the highest placed team with 4 riders, but they were well down the pecking order. So I think with that restructuring, we might be down lower than we should be. But I think it's that case of if you can't get a full team out and for, unfortunate reasons, it sort of hampers you from day one. So it's a bit of a shame. So I'm just actually trying to look and see what division we're in. So I'll leave you to make light conversation while I try and find that out.
Did he unplug the little cable that comes to the junction box in the front? That's
he tried everything because he's had problems with it before. It's been and he's had it replaced.
Oh man!
So I don't know where he's got to. He's actually flown out to Dallas for work. So he's out all week anyway. So I'd be interested when he gets back. However, it is harbouring he needs a new bike. What does he go and get? So it's like, oh, shiny toys.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
so James, you were saying you've had bike issues?
Yeah, it was yesterday, and I ran a Wahoo Kicker 6 with a climb, and I've got a Specialized Alley frame on it, and I'm running the Zwift cog, so I'm actually running virtual gears. But one of the things that I had was I do like to switch onto the small chainring just to. Otherwise, I just grind out about 30 RPM up the climbs, and that just batters my knees. And I don't know what I've done, but I can't get it. It's stuck on the big ring, which for some reason, when I go down the gears, it just doesn't feel. I don't know. I think it's psychological, and also I'm crap at climbing, for want of a better phrase. So I just never feel I'm in the right gear. Whereas if I drop it down into the small one, I just feel I can spin a bit more freely, and I can just push. I wouldn't say push the power. Well, push the power, but not go very fast up the climb. So I've got pretty much an identical spare bike, which I flipped onto the trainer this morning. I haven't tested it or not yet because I've got to move all the paraphernalia onto it as well. So hopefully, well, if I haven't got that done, then I have no gears for this evening.
Did you mess with trainer difficulty? Maybe that might help. But
yeah, it might be. I think mine's set to 50 as standard. I'll go and have a look. But it's just I don't know. I just get stuck in the big ring and fine for sprinting, but whenever I go up client, I just feel I'm grinding too much. Even in even when I go down the gears, and knowing what the week's like for the FRR Tour, I don't really need to be doing that.
Yeah. You won't have knees after that.
Yeah. Well, how do you have the virtual gear setup? Is it like just one through infinity or whatever it is, or?
Yeah, and I could change that as well. Do you know what? I'll probably sit down and actually work out the optimum setting, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it runs 1 to 24 from that side, and on the setup with the trainer difficulty. So I'm normally racing in about gear 18, pushing about 70 RPM. So I am a grinder, unfortunately. So
absolutely.
If I can get, when I'm climbing, I want to be in the 80s, but it got down to 60s and below that, going up the sort of back end of Box Hill yesterday, and it's just can't do that all week.
I do the same thing. Man, I think we all do. Josh is also a grinder. Yeah. Man, the slow cadence. I don't know why, it just feels right. But
I did recently, like on the kicker bike, shift to was it smaller why am I
The smaller
blanking on
chainring
it?
in the front?
No. The cranks.
Oh,
Cranks.
you went
Shorter
down
crank.
one. Nice.
Yeah, I did like 2.7 millimeter shorter cranks, and I do find that I'm like higher cadence, a bit higher cadence than normal.
And
I haven't seen. I don't know. I don't feel any different, but I've set a new FTP, set new PRs this week, like kind of across the board. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I'm going to pretend it does, and then I like made a super smart decision and pat myself on the back and say like, oh yeah, that's totally why.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because while massively sidetracking for some of our topics.
Yeah, it's okay. Go.
The last couple of races, I haven't changed my, the saddle's still the same height. It's all set up. In the last probably month, I started to get like my hands start to ache. I'm moving around a lot more on the bike. There's something not quite right. And it was again yesterday. I don't know whether I'm still on my downward spiral of fitness and ability to compete in races. And I thought I'd have got to the bottom of that, but no, I've managed to demonstrate you can go lower, which is a bit of a worry. And I don't think I'm there yet. We've got a whole week's worth of riding. I won't call it racing. So we'll see how low you can go. But I do need to change my setup or see that's there. So what is useful for our later conversation is, if only I had an opportunity where there's an environment where there are going to be loads of bike fitters, new kit and Zwift that I could go and talk to try and get a bit of guidance on it from there. So we've got a bit of a reset, and I've got a bike bit due in a couple of weeks. So, and they're looking at my indoor setup as well. So I'm hoping we can try and just nuance that. And I'm interested about crank length to see if that's the blind bit of difference.
Yeah, and Josh, did you because there's lots of talk about crank length. I mean, obviously, ever since Pogacar went down to, I think, is he on 160s now, or is it 165s? I can't remember. Yeah, it's crazy, and I mean, he's shorter than I am for sure. But I was just talking to my guy, because we were talking about getting some new cranks for my gravel bike, and he was telling me to go down to 170s, and I ride was it 175?
I was at 172.5 on
172.5.
Just went down to 170, which I mean I've noticed zero difference in feel.
Well, what about your saddle height?
I adjusted the saddle height slightly upward, and then moved it. I moved it in actually a little bit more, and then, but otherwise not really too many adjustments to feel comfortable. I don't know. It's kind of iterative, and I've kind of made some slight adjustments, like pretty much every race, like the week after, like moving the reach forward and back or taller, just to find whatever like works. Yeah, just to find whatever works. Yeah. But I like I said, I don't notice a lick of difference in how it feels, but I mean, results
be more efficient.
better. I have no idea if that's correlated or not. I'm going to pretend it is, but
well, it's been suggested to me to go down to 170s, and I have 170s on my mountain bike, and I wondered if that was just because of pedal strikes and everything and getting rad in the air. But I don't know. See, this is hard for me because I am a grinder. I come from, some single speed mountain biking background as well, where we would have like 180s or 185s on our bikes and just, really cranking it out, man. I mean, literally.
Yeah, I mean, above like 85 cadence is like super uncomfortable for me. I mean, I'm normally like below 80 as well. But like above 85 is just like it's not it for me.
So I know, Josh, you alluded to, you were talking about trainer resistance. Can we jump a little bit down here and talk about the new ladder rules with resistance? Would you mind going over that?
Yeah, so this has actually been the case for the last like year or so, but last like 9 months. So this is actually nothing new, but it just so happens, I think a couple people like simultaneously started noticing it. But when you're put in a race, your trainer difficulty is set to 30. Doesn't matter if it's above, below, whatever, it's set to 30. Exactly.
Does it go back to when you get done or not?
Yeah, I think it goes back if you have not manually adjusted it, then it goes back to whatever you were at. But if you manually adjust it in the pen, then it will stick to whatever you manually adjusted it to.
But well, okay, because I usually ride at 75, and I guess 75%, and
yeah.
Well,
So
I'm gonna have to look at mine.
If you've noticed like you need to be in quote unquote harder gears,
yes,
in lighter races, then that would be why.
Because I've been in like I usually run like 2 in the front and 4 in the back. I know it's virtual gears, but I have it set up like my Di2. So I usually ride 2.4 most of the time. But then I've been in like 2.6, 2.8, and then I've been in some of the climbs. I've been in even 2.10 out of 12. You know, so I've been really hammering it. That must be why I'm like, I am not getting stronger. Because I was looking down at the gears like, why am I in this? So what? It's just to level the playing field or level why?
No, I mean watts are watts, right? It doesn't matter if you're turning out 100 watts at 0% trainer difficulty or 100 watts at 100% trainer difficulty. The net effect is exactly the same in game.
Yeah,
but it is a feel thing.
Yeah, it is a feel for sure.
So the logic was putting it at 0 removes the terrain. Yeah, whether you agree with that sentiment or not is up for debate, of course, but that was their rationale for doing so.
And you can always adjust it back when you're in the pen, right?
Yeah. So if you jump in at like 0%, it'll set to 30. You cannot adjust it down, but you can adjust it higher.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of TTT riders that will go at 0, and so it removes a train. I guess I've never ridden at 0. Maybe I should give it a try.
But also, I've never done it either, but.
But also, I know a number of TT riders who have it at 100, so they get a better feel of the terrain as well. So
right.
It's definitely personal preference over it from there. I must admit, I sort of understood to try and level the playing field, but I never really understood quite why. But then again, I never asked the question if that made sense. Because for me, it's just like, well, I'm in the pen racing. If you're gonna go down that route, then you should be taking away steering and also putting us all on the same bike and making it almost it's down to the rider, if that makes sense, and then it's down to the tactics that you apply.
Yeah, it's just like NASCAR.
I would agree. It's not. Yeah, it's definitely not. Obviously, I have my own opinions on it. I don't think it makes a lick of difference because 100 watts is 100 watts. It literally doesn't matter. But I people can be on different gearing setups with actual real world bikes that there's a reason that their trainer difficulty is set the way it is too.
Right.
So
yeah,
up for debate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do have to say that we were talking about bike fitting earlier too. I was going to bring this up. I've raised my handlebars up because I think they've sunk a little bit over time, and I raise them up, because
I think that's just because all the power you're putting down, right?
It could be. I was doing 300 watts. I told you, and then I was like, but I find myself like when they're down and slammed, I find myself like trying to get aero, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like you're way into this game. You don't need to be aero, trying to attack or anything. But there is something to be said when you're if you're more used to being more upright, to keeping that position, right, to transfer the power from your glutes. I believe we need to get a bike fitter on here sooner than later. But yeah, I'll work on that some more. So
I might be able to help on that one.
Yes,
my friend is a bike fitter, so
that'd be great.
So, but let's take that online. It might not necessarily be the bike and your handlebars dropping down. You could be putting so much power down, you're causing your basement to subside, and actually
that could be
slowly going down as well. So I hope it's just the handlebars, because if it's the house, then you've got way bigger problems to deal with.
You're putting down so much power that the ground is shifting beneath your bike.
It's like when you go through that first time when you go to Jarvis Island. That's what happens every Tuesday night.
Dustin's putting out some numbers on the Richter scale for earthquakes.
Yeah, I wish. If I would love to get to over 1,000 watts. There was my old trainer that I had like way back when I first started Zwift, or the second one that I had, I think, because I used to Zwift on rollers, but like I had a Tax like the first version of the Tax Flux 2, I think maybe it was their first like cheaper direct drive trainer. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was a long time ago. Anyway, long story short, it was. I would be on that, and I was riding one day, and like something happened, and then boom. I don't know, but there was I hit the hairdryer thing where I hit 1,000 watts, and I was like, I did not do that. So something was going on with that. I think it was like someone was making microwave popcorn upstairs, and it, sent some of the signals because it was
an electrical pulse through your trainer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was like I was running over Amp Plus too, so I think that's what happened. Yeah. But anyway. One of these days, man, we'll definitely get to that. All right, so now we have to talk about some. Going over the resistance thing real quick here. The escalators in the new New York City routes. I was doing a workout on there, and I noticed that when I was hitting the escalators, I was in erg mode, and it got easier when I was going up the escalators. How are you guys feeling about? And then when I raced it, I just gave it full gas just to keep going, but. It's how are you guys approaching those escalators that are the moving escalators, not like the ones in London?
The ones that are like Mario Kart.
Yes.
So it's weird because you can like just not pedal and it will carry you up. I'm not treating it any differently. Like I did do a race with Benji from Coalition on that, and the only thing I did was just match whatever everyone else was doing around me. So I didn't end up like sitting up and smashing it like the non Mario Kart escalator.
Yeah. Right. Regular.
Yeah. So it was just like kind of treating it as a normal climb. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to describe, I guess, but
yeah,
it was strange.
I'd like to get to it and just stop pedaling and just see what happens.
Yeah, well, I did. So during the Zwift Unlocked, just the group ride, I just set up, stopped pedaling at 0 watts, and it still takes you up.
Just took you up.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird. I've only done it in a race, and I did it full gas, and I found the last bit was sort of like riding through treacle. I just couldn't, it almost was sticking me to it. I don't think that was anything to do with the escalator. I think that was just me, but it just got a bit odd. And I think I need to do it a few more times actually to get that. And I must admit, I hadn't even thought about, and I sort of haven't really read up on it. So I'll go and do a warm up and just sit on there and see what happens without pedaling. Yeah. That's a bit weird. You could have fired you off the top with like a rainbow sort of tail.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I thought it was weird though when I was doing it on and it dropped my train. I could feel it get easier when I was doing it on in erg mode. But anyway, that was also interesting. All right, so let's get to one of the main talking points. So the reason I'm wearing this shirt, my Flamme Rouge Racing shirt here, is because FRR. Let's talk about it. Super 6 and Tour Britannia. What do you want to talk about first?
Should we talk about the obviously round 1 of the Super 6 finished on Friday with 2 laps of the 2015 UCI course in Richmond, which was lovely, especially when I was picking up a space in a team and having to be a climber. Happy days. We had some interesting tactics. I thought that race was actually. I thought the course and the race was actually quite good, depending on how you were playing it out. So I set up our wild card for a game and lead out for the sprint. So the second sprint was where you scored wild card points for the first 10 riders over the line. So I took him around the bend, set him up. I think to call it a lead out, dropping him off at 700 meters to go because I blew up was a bit extreme, but he managed to get over to the point. So it worked. So apologies.
No, that was a lead out.
My lead out sucked a little bit, but I think it was good. I think the series as a whole, it's been a little bit of a slow burn. I think the concept and the racing and the tactics does really work. I think it's really good. I think it'll only grow, and it'll be really interesting for round 2 running on a Wednesday and Friday to see if that grows numbers, especially in the US region. I'm slightly skeptical, but if it does, then I'm fully supporting it. It makes a lot more admin for me, which is a bit of a pain. But I think we need to grow it. And I think internally within our club, we'll look at how we manage the teams, because part of it has been about participation and getting people involved, but also then we've had teams that haven't had full numbers each week, so we need to balance the two of what we want from there. But I say, obviously, Josh, race. What was your thoughts and think over it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was. I like the concept. I didn't end up racing every single stage, but I mean, this is basically like a pilot, right? I mean, so there's going to be growing pains to work out, and I think there were some, but by and large, I think the groundwork is laid for like a super interesting league that offers a nice bit of variety to like ladder or tour or ZRL. So I think there's something to be said for what they've put together here, and I do hope that this will continue to grow too, because I do love the concept that they've laid out here.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to do it. I hope to have a day where I can do it. And so, James, just so people know, can you, and I know we talked about it before, but can you just do one stage?
In the Super 6? Yeah, you can do,
yep.
To be fair, you can do 3 in one day, like I've tried to, which I wouldn't recommend. To try and plug the teams. Yes, you can. And I think what it is, that each race is very different in that each rider has a role, and they score points for that role and then finish line points. So there's a different dynamic for everyone, and those people can change on a day, on a race by race basis, and you can move people around up until the last minute as well. So there's lots of flexibility around it. And I think if you had a big enough squad, you could really target certain races when you see the schedule and do it from there. If you're struggling to get 5 riders out, then anyone racing is a bonus, if that makes sense. But the good news is you still score points. So you're not going to be completely out of the link or out of the loop or out of the competition by not being able to field a full team. And you've got the different formats. Obviously we raced the Richmond one was a no HUD points race, which I think no HUD is very, I was going to say Marmite, but it's a very UK term. So it's very, you either like it or you don't. There's nobody really sitting in the middle on it from there. I quite like it. But I'd like to be able to see who the riders are, like the names, because once you've started in the series, you know who the people you're racing against, and that's quite difficult in that environment. But you're having to pay attention more, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. So I quite like it from that side. But we had a combined individual team time trial, which I missed because I was on holiday. But that's a slightly different format from there. We always had points and scratch races, and I think the mix and blend was quite good. And I think if we can expand on that, I think it makes it a really interesting proposition amongst all the other Zwift racing that we've got going on in the calendar.
But then what about for I just had this in my head. So when when you're talking about oh shoot, never mind. Keep going. I lost it. It ran away from me. Oh, the no HUD thing. Was the data going to? Were you running sauce as well, or was everybody on their honor to not use it? It
blocks source. So the only backdoor into it, you can see some of the data via your companion app if your companion app's working from that side. But you can see your power numbers. And the challenge I had, biggest one, was I couldn't see what gear I was in using virtual gearing. So you're going very much on how terrible your legs are feeling, if that makes sense.
But I mean, it's just like when you're riding outside. I mean, I don't have a HUD on my bike that tells. Well, actually, I do. I have it on my computer. I guess.
Yeah,
it tells
power
me
meter.
But that's just semantics from that point of view.
Right,
and everyone's in the same boat. That's the other thing from there. So
I like that. I've only done one race with that, and it was cool. But yeah, and then the chat too. But you can at least talk to each other over Discord, I suppose.
Yeah.
But,
it makes that conversation, especially with the team tactics, until I got up to the Libby Hill climb engaging, and it was like, bye guys, I'll see you later. But you also target the sections and segments. So I knew I was never going to do very well on the Libby Hill, and I think I finished sort of 17th out of 18 climbers. But on the is it 23rd Street, the shorter, so it's normally a sprint. I was 4th up there, so it's about targeting when you can score points. Now, admittedly, I probably should have gone a bit harder at Livy Hill, but just not fit enough at the moment. So, but it means you can sort of play out where you think you can score points more effectively and target them, and really, really sort of push on those ones.
That's so hard, that course is. I mean, I find 23rd Street hard, even though it's like slightly downhill depending on the direction you're going. But anyway, yeah, all the hills and everything too. Well, what about for Tour Britannia? How's that been going?
Oh, it's I don't know, how can I put it? It's soul destroying from my perspective, but this one's always going to be a challenge, building off the France tour, because France tour was pretty flat, and I did terribly at that, and that was more suited to my profile as a rider. I think yesterday was the first stage was good. I don't mind the climbing. I think it's good to have it in there, but I'm in a slightly different. I'm in the Habs, and who's the other group? The Bonds. So we're the Habanero Pepper class. So the problem is I'm the top of the class, if that makes sense. So what I found, because I was going for sprints as well, when I got to the sprints, the group just stopped. So I had no speed going into the segment. So I won the segment in my race, but I'm top 25, and I was like, oh, that's me dead for the rest of the tour. But if you're in a pairing or grouping that you've got actually a faster class, you can piggyback off them a bit more. So it gives you a bit more of a slingshot into the segments from there. But equally, you do run the risk if you can get dropped depending on the course and the segment and where the climbs are, or where your weakness comes out from there. But I think I like the tours. I think the tours, it's a challenge and a real achievement to finish them, especially balancing them over eight races in 9 days. So from I wouldn't say a fitness, but achieving and finishing one of them is a massive sort of tick to do. So I think from that, and anyone who's punching, and say for Josh, anyone who's punching it and trying to go for a jersey, and is there anyone in the top 10 by the end of the week, is chapeau, fair play to them, because it is it's a real challenge from that perspective. And a lot of it is about the endurance. You'll see some people at the front, like the top 5 that are there. Some of them are going to drop off. They're going to get a sprint wrong. They're going to be potentially racing at a time that's inconvenient for them, so it is going to compromise it. And it's that combined. If you're consistent through it, you tend to do all right, if that makes sense. So we've got today's stages, the 2 big stages over the week. One today, which is the Queen stage, which we jokingly talk about. It's again up and down the Surrey Hills, what seems to be like lots and lots of loops of them. 53.5 kilometers. And nearly 1,300 meters of climbing. So, fun from that point of view. And then we finish next Sunday with the King stage, which supposedly is about just over 1,000 meters climbing. So let's say that's about 2,000, depending on when Richard ends it from that side. And that will finish the week off. We've got an ITT tomorrow, and then back in, and Tuesday off, thankfully. So Tuesday off to go and do ZRL. So happy days.
Yeah.
And then through from there. So it's good. We've got about 50 riders in the club signed up, and we had just over 30 race yesterday. So really pleased with that level of sort of participation. If that makes sense. And I think we've already seen some stories and some comments and experiences being played out in our Discord channel. So and it's good, and it's very much a shared experience from that point of view.
It's been a blast so far. I mean, only one stage in. And I didn't think I'd miss steering as much as I did yesterday, because I set a all-time 15-second sprint, and still like got pushed out to the right and didn't really catch much draft there. But overall, I mean, the stage went well, and for the one today, I'm just going to be looking to not get broom wagoned. Honestly.
What was your 15-second PR there? What'd you get?
I got.
I gotta look it up. Sorry.
Yeah, gotta look it up.
I figured you'd have that out, printed out, put up on your wall.
Well, it's interesting. There's a little, what seems to be a little green jersey challenge, inter-club challenge going on with Josh and Tom, who's my ladder vice captain as well. Nice. I think there's definitely that's going to brew over the week after yesterday, because you're quite close. And today, there's obviously no sprinting today, just going uphill a lot. And then let's see when Tuesday and Wednesday, when the next sprint stage would be.
Glasgow crit. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that one. Nothing like too crazy. as far as like climbing goes. But yeah, all-time PR is 886 watts.
Nice. For 15 seconds?
Yeah.
You can do better than that. Come on, Josh. No, just kidding.
I was kind of surprised. It didn't feel like. I mean, I did go hard, but I didn't think that it was a all-time effort. I don't know.
Weigh
a pound or two more. So maybe that was why.
It's all about the speed into the segment. Absolutely, that's the one. If you get that right, you can really outperform stronger, more powerful sprinters. If you can get that and you've got a bit of draft in and you can absolutely bomb through it, and you'll know when you've got it right. Because my sprint actually from the segment start was pretty good. There were some big numbers there, but the problem was I was going about 5 kilometers an hour when we hit the sprint segment, so it was just like
yeah.
So
it looks like I'm sitting 9th.
Yeah.
Nice, Josh.
Green.
Let's go. Next time we talk about this, I hope to see you at 8th or 7th or 1st.
Yeah, I assume like some of these people, like James said, they might not be full tour participants or whatever. Yeah. So goal would be like top 5 would be.
Yeah, and I think it's
realistic.
What you don't want to be is 25th after stage 1. If you're in the top 10, you're there. You've got a good start, and then it's about building on it from there. So yeah, it's really good. So well done. Looking forward to seeing how you get. If I happen to be anywhere near you in a race, I'll try and give you a lead out, but there's no chance that.
Oh man! So James brought this up here too about streaks, and I thought that was interesting because the whole meme of the 6-7 thing. I hit 67 weeks this week of my streaks on Zwift, and I've been Zwifting for a long time, and I thought we've only been doing this for 67 weeks that they've been keeping streaks. But Josh, you've hit like 100-week streak. How is that? Or how many? What's your guys' Zwift streak?
I think 100 weeks is like from the week that they started it. So I think Zwift Insider did an article about like, oh hey, like people will start hitting their 100-week streaks this week because that's like when they initially did it. I mean, it did help that they allow the streaks to continue if you do outdoor riding, I think too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, that saved me for one because I only raced it because I was away 2 weeks ago, and I purposely went out for a run with a view of trying to log it and save my Zwift streak from there. I got a kilometre in, my knee blew up, and I ended up walking half of it, and I was just like, "This is ridiculous. What am I?" And there was a moment when you're standing there, it's like, "Why?" Which is why I sort of thought back. I was like, "Why?
Why not?"
Yeah, well, why would I stopped running for a reason because my knees knackered. So immediately within a kilometre, I've blown it up. And I was like, why have I done that? And also, I've done a kilometre. I've got to keep going to at least 3 or 4 kilometres. Otherwise, it just looks really rubbish from that side. It's just like, it's just pointless. But my Zwift streak 67 as well.
Oh, so, interesting.
So all the good people clearly on 67.
Yes,
but my Strava one, when I looked at it, is 83. So obviously that's pulling up different activities and also occasionally walking the dog.
Yes, yeah. Because I definitely put those on Strava. Absolutely. Yep.
But I can't work out whether should I care is probably the question I want to ask to my fellow.
I mean, I don't think it matters.
But it's just all about the consistency, and I think that the whole thing of having the streaks, it helps you to like. That's one more thing. Like I know when I was on vacation, I had to save my streak. I had to ride a little bit. So like I got in, unpacked the car, and then I got on my bike and rode for 20 minutes or something like that. So that streak was in the back of my head. So it did make me work out. So I think that's really what it's about. But
so also Zwift level. What Zwift level are you on, Dustin and Josh?
I'm at 81 and close. 81, is that right? That can't be right. 81, I think.
91.
I'm looking right now. 91. What are you at, James?
I'm at 99. I will. Tour Britannia.
Hondo coming soon.
I know. Tour Britannia should push me up to 100. Yeah. And also, on the ITT on Monday will be my 100th FRR race as well.
Nice. Dang. I just looked. I'm at 87, but that's awesome. That your 100th FRR, that's got to go into the Hall of Fame somewhere.
Oh yeah, and I'm not. They're between Matt and Jill, they are above me. They're be interested to see what their numbers are. But yeah, it's quite. I looked at the numbers. I was like, oh bloody hell, I've done quite. I'd think you think by that time I'd have learned that they're not very good for me, and I should find another racing category to do. But no, we're sort of still going. So yeah, obviously there's some benefit to it.
Yeah.
Please tell me. That answer's on a postcard. Ping them across to me. That'd be lovely.
Yeah. And then what about for this? You're going to the Roller Live, James.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You got to talk about this because the website, I looked at it when you brought this up because it's incredible. Star-studded is like an understatement.
Yeah, so Rouleur is a magazine. I'm not sure if you get it out in the US or not. You can definitely see the
yeah.
Okay, cool. So they're obviously London-based, and they obviously deal with cycling culture, tech, and racing from that point of view. And they run a yearly show, which is in hipster central London, which is lovely. So get to go across the east side of London, which I don't do very often. And it's in an old brewery. It's all very arty. It's really good.
Awesome.
And I went last year for the first time. I've been meaning to go for a few years, and I didn't quite know what I was letting myself in for. So we went in and sort of had a look around, sat in a couple of the presentations and stuff like that. I've got some. If I can share, I can for the viewers watching us, they'll hopefully be able to see this. For everyone listening, sorry, but I'll try and explain what I'm talking about. But yeah, so they have lots of different. Okay, you disabled screen sharing, which is
I didn't mean to. Keep going, keep talking.
Yeah,
I'll see if I can.
So last year they had lots of different bikes, and they had lots of different all the brands bought either what their top range was selling or ones that were very iconic from that year. So we saw Mark Cavendish's bike where he won the last Tour de France stage on. That was there. We had Richard Carapaz's Cannondale Lab 71 Super Evo. That was all branded up with the polka dots and signed as well. There was Alex Yee, who's a triathlete. He had a purpose-built gold Trek. It is absolutely mint. And you had the bike that Lael Wilcox. Yeah. I'll send the pictures into for the podcast.
You can share now, but you saw Lael Wilcox's Tour Divide bike.
Yeah, and with all the mud still on, if that makes sense.
So how did she get that into customs? Because with all the mud on there, you'd think they would make her clean it.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Because the biologicals and stuff. Yeah,
it was muddy. Hopefully you can see that.
Yep. Ooh, look at that.
So this is the Carapaz's super. It had like the EDF bikes that they're all from the Tour from that point of view. But this was Alex Yee's gold.
These look slightly out of my tax bracket.
Yeah. So this is Alex Yee's gold bike they had made specifically after I think it was the Olympic win that he had.
That's super sweet.
That cow in the back. That cow in the back is they have those at Trek HQ in Waterloo, Wisconsin.
The Trek stand was pretty good, and my pictures that I had were pretty terrible. So I'll do a better effort this Friday from there. And they had obviously lots of presentations. One of the ones for this Friday coming up is we've got Eric Min from Zwift on there, and also I've forgotten his first name, but the guy who founded Canyon, who has come back as an executive role, and they've got both of them running a sort of presentation around business and sort of development in cycling. So I'm going to be really interested to see that. And like last year when we were there, this is a picture of Bat Stevens talking to Tom Pidcock. So Tom, this is the time that it was coming out that he was leaving Ineos, and he basically walked on and said, "There's a man in the corner who's my solicitor, and I can't talk anything about it," because they were working on negotiations there. But he was out of some of they had Ben Healy and there was I forgot. There's a British female cyclist. She was really interesting. Ben Healy was really good, apart from he was wearing basically a carpet, which was a bit weird. But Tom Pidcock was really interesting because he was really engaging with his presentation and what he was talking about, and he was quite open and honest. So it was really interesting to get that sort of inside view on it. They also had they did a session on Zwift and women in Zwift last year, and they had a couple of riders, but also a couple of people really influential from the female side from it. And they were talking about how it's grown women's cycling and sort of where they see it going. And it was really engaging because you're covering different areas of the sport, but also looking at it from both business and sort of stuff like that. They had one of the DSs, when we're there on Friday, you've got. I'm really really excited about this. Is obviously Luke Rowe, who was obviously the Ineos road captain for so many years, talking a bit about life after racing and a bit about the podcast. We've got Emma Finucane, I can never pronounce the name, who's again a Welsh, mainly track rider, who's very very good, and a couple other people. So we've also got Greg LeMond is doing a Q&A session in the afternoon. So I'm actually quite excited for that. And then the Friday session finishes with Pauline Ferron-Perot talking about her year. So it's quite exciting. You've got really iconic, influential people across the sport over the year that's sort of taking place from that side.
Yeah.
And so.
I do have to say that Greg LeMond is from Minnesota, and he trains on he used to come down here to where I live to train on the hills to get him more used to the ones that he was going to go to France famously. So just saying, I'm basically Greg LeMond. No, just kidding. No way. But to think about the fact that I know, James, you get to climb up the same climbs that people do in the pros and everything like that. And even you get to go up Box Hill because it's close to your house. But it's kind of cool to think about that for us. I mean, in America, it's so we don't get that too often unless you live in Tucson or in California.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, well, that's awesome. And James, you have full carte blanche to at the Eric Men thing. Yes, this is James from Watopian Weekly podcast.
I should have requested my press credentials, shouldn't I?
Yes. Do you want me to? I'll send somebody an email, and I'll overnight you a shirt or something, so that says Watopian Weekly on it. So I actually only have one of those. Or no, two.
Yeah, I've got one of your dodgy stickers from the quiz. I can just sort of stick that on me hat or something like that. Put
that on your pass that gets you in the door, and then that should work. Yeah,
I got credentials.
Yeah, that should work. Well, Josh and James. I mean, this is fantastic. I know we've gone through this whole. We've gone through a lot of stuff here. I know we've got a lot to talk about. We still have a lot to talk about. But before we close the episode, any shout outs you want to give? Anybody?
Shout out to everyone who's doing FRR on Coalition, especially.
Yeah, and how about you, James?
I'd like to say a shout out to Prentice on his recovery. So thanks for that. He's doing well. Again, anyone participating in FRR who are all going to be in front of me, good luck. Try to slow down a little bit, that'd be lovely. And hopefully we'll see some good result around New York in the ZRL, and there'll definitely be a lot of conversation next week or the next podcast about climbing, because all the races just seem to be going uphill. Where's the flat courses?
Oh, who cares? Who needs flat courses? We need more climbing. Yeah.
Which hates sprinters.
Yes, definitely. I've heard that. Actually, I've heard that. No, I've heard people say that anyway. But what about for we didn't talk about wheel selection, by the way, real quick for ZRL. What are you going to go with, James?
I'm probably going to go with the MV 4.5 Pros.
Oh man, I'm going with I'm doing the Specialized Tarmac SL8 because I have that one fully upgraded. It's faster than the Athos at the stage that I have, and then I'm going Milesteins. I'm doing it.
I've got to be competitive in the sprint, so I need climbing assistant, but I do need something that can actually help a little bit there. We're talking milliseconds here.
Yes.
That's the other thing as well.
Much. Yeah.
And also, to be fair, if I don't get to the sprint, it's pointless anyway. So there might be a wheel change mid-race.
Ooh,
that'd be bold.
That would be.
Why not?
Yeah,
I don't know. If it were me, every time I tried to do bike changes or wheel changes, I just fumbled around and wasted more time than it's worth.
Yeah. And Josh, if you were to race, what would you be running?
Probably the same NV, yeah.
Okay. I'm going with it. I'm sticking with the Milesteins. I spent a lot of time.
And then when your name is plastered across every available leaderboard of FTS, FAL finish, you can come back and brag.
Oh man, I hope so. I hope that's the case. Well, we'll find out about it, and everyone will have to listen next week to see what happens. So thank you for everybody listening this week and every other week. Be sure to check us out on Discord. Send us an email, watopianweekly@gmail.com. Send us your recipes, anything like that, things you want us to talk about, things you don't want us to talk about. Or I mean, we do. Hopefully, you're liking the more the definitely different intro. I had to change it because the clarinet was just too much. It was me playing, and I just stink at clarinet. So anyway, someone on staff will definitely get back to you within 2 weeks. And with that, everybody, we'll see you in Watopia. Bye-bye.
Bye.